Peach Perspective Plus Podcast, brought to you by BossMommy.com for the love of destiny and Wellness Habit 21. Subscribe and tap the notification bell so that you can get updates every time I upload a new video. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Peach Perspective Plus Podcast, brought to you by BossMommy.com. I'm your host, Peaches Johnson. I'm a blogger and your favorite accountability coach. My content is about overall wellness and unconventional spirituality. It's all quite simple. I write the blogs, post them on my website, then I come here, read them to give you an audio version. This is my pilot episode. It's going to give you an idea of what to look forward to whenever you come to Peach Perspective Plus podcast. In fact, this episode and the second episode is going to be really an introduction of me. Then after that, we'll get into spiritual awakening. Without further ado, I'm going to read today's blog, which is entitled Following a New Path to Get My Faith Back. I believe a divine force connects us all. My focus and growth have come from being thankful for what this force provides. Now, what you call that force depends on you. My mother and my brother Josh will call that force Allah. It's not separate from any main source. Allah is the Arabic word for God. I decided to rebrand my blog with this topic because it would give you an idea of what I'm into spiritually. People who know my family automatically believe that I am Muslim because that's what they saw. And they may have witnessed me calling God Allah because that's what I learned. This is the first time I'm sharing my story for real. My point of view, what I witnessed, what I experienced, and what I believe. My earliest spiritual memory goes back to when I was about 3.5 years old. I might have been 4. The first thing my mother taught me was divination with cards. As time went on, she told me about the gifts that run in her bloodline. When I started to experience supernatural things, she guided me through them. That is the first thing I learned. So if we can be honest, that would be considered my foundation. Real quick, let me say this. My mother's not here to speak for herself, so please note, she died a devout Muslim woman. My intention is not to alter the view my mother left of herself because once my mother found Islam, she was serious about her shit. She bumped her head 5 times a day, covered up modestly, and did everything a Sunni Muslim should do. It's just that my mother is the root of my life, so I have to mention her. From what I gathered, my mother wanted her children to have some kind of faith and belief. I remember her taking us to different churches, searching for something that resonated with her. I even remember a period when she allowed my siblings and myself to be baptized while she was still discovering the Muslim religion. By the time I was about 15 or 16 years old, the Islamic rules were established in our household. But she wasn't as strict with the older children as she was with the younger ones. So despite having the knowledge, I was never on my deen for real. When I reached adulthood, my relationship with religion was complicated. I was all over the place with it. I was going to the masjid, I was going to church, I was drawn to burning candles, manipulating energy, and anything that seemed mystical. I embraced a more universal perspective, acknowledging one single creator while allowing my spirit to explore. Not no fucking demon or nothing crazy like that. Don't screw up my words. I believe in the same God that we are all normally taught that we all come from. That's something that never changed. A dark time in my life led me to explore a different spiritual path. I was overwhelmed by anxiety attacks. I met a social worker who introduced me to chakras. I don't remember her name, but she suggested I learn about the chakra system. That was a life-changing moment for me. First chance I got, I went to Barnes and Noble in Co-op City in the Bronx. I don't know if it's still there, but that's where I went. I saw a book and the title was Chakra Healing by Doreen Virtue. Real quick, let me let y'all know this book is not sponsored. In fact, I don't think Doreen Virtue even creates this kind of content anymore. Anyway, this book opened a new dimension of existence for me. The experience I had was powerful. The problem was the enlightenment came with fear. The experiences I felt were overwhelming for me. I know now it's because I was all over the place spiritually. It scared the shit out of me. So I got rid of the book. Over time, I bought that same book over and over again because I believed that I needed the things that it was teaching me. But whenever the weight of the message felt too heavy, I would destroy the book, burn it, tear it up, or toss it. I don't have that same fear anymore. I do have the book and I do utilize it now. Over the years, I got into different spiritual mentors who introduced me to more ideas. Influential figures like Brother Panic and Bob Proctor emphasized unlocking our potential. I began to understand concepts like manifesting and law of attraction. For instance, I learned retraining our mindset could lead to significant changes in our lives. Now, COVID-19 dramatically shifted the world. During that time, I lost both my mother and my baby brother. I was pissed. I mean, yes, I was sad and I was hurt. I loved and I missed them so much, but I was more angry than anything. In real life, I was like, how could God be real if this could happen? It was really hard for me to believe in an unseen God. I struggled with the idea. Was it real or was it just a comforting idea? Yet, the knowledge I gained about thoughts being matter made sense to me. I realized that if we can manipulate matter into reality through thought, maybe there's more to our existence than we could see. You cannot ignore loss. A couple of years after losing my mother and baby brother, another brother of mine was tragically killed. You talking about some fucking pain? But the excruciating pain from that brought me back to faith because being angry and dodging faith wasn't working for me. I considered returning to Islam, but I asked myself, who was I doing that for? What am I comfortable with? I recalled one of the many sayings that my mother would say to me. As long as you don't eliminate God, you'll be fine. Maybe I won't do it her way. I'll do it the way I'm comfortable doing it. I chose to meditate twice a day, every day. I found a way to transform anger, fear, and doubt into understanding, gratitude, and trust. What started as a grounding exercise evolved into a sacred routine that allows me to acknowledge my pain while embracing the beauty of life. Each phase of my spiritual journey has drawn me closer to the light, despite the darkness of loss. The path isn't always clear, but I've learned that spirituality is not just one thing. It is the combination of all our connections, experiences, and lessons. Today, I embrace a fluid spirituality that blends childhood lessons with practices I've discovered as an adult. My main meditation sessions consist of me connecting with God, then releasing gratitude into the atmosphere. This journey isn't solely about following a single doctrine, but it's about finding meaning, connection, and gratitude in the middle of life's beautiful chaos. I look forward to exploring this form of light as I maintain my relationship with God. As I move forward, I'm following my path. I'm not imposing my lifestyle on others. I'm pursuing what I believe works for me. I encourage you to discover your path. Each person's journey is their own to explore. And that's all for now. Thank you for joining Peach Perspective Plus. Find all episodes on bossmommy.com and YouTube. Enjoy my Wellness Habit 21 workshop for goals, mindfulness, and community support.